Hey guys, I'm Dov, and today I'm back with more Total War Warhammer 2 multiplayer action. We're back on the live patch pre-Shadow and Blade. I've got a few more videos to show you guys in the interim while we wait on some new hot content from the new patch. So we're back on the old one once again. We've got SIGVALD the Magnificent here, leading the Warriors of Chaos against Bretonnia. Response free, just good old vanilla Bretonnia. So let's get to it. SIGVALD here with an Exalted Hero on foot. Nothing on the Exalted Hero, just kind of a bodyguard to SIGVALD, if you will. Soul of Damnation here. We've got the Summoners of Rage as well, the ROR Dragon Ogres, a single Manticore for Terror. We've got some Chaos Marauders here, and some Warriors in the second line. Lore of Shadows to round things out. As for my opponent's build, he's got some Mounted Yeoman Archers over on the far side here. We've got Knights of the Realm here in the main line, plenty of infantry. Not really anything too much to speak of other than FELIX and GOTREK. Going to be led by a Prophetess, Lore of Heavens. If we go ahead and have a look at her spell loadout here, if I can. Harmonic Convergence, Wind Blast, Curse of the Midnight Wind, and Chain Lightning. Well as two more units of Knights of the Realm over on the far side. So without further ado, we're getting the battle underway. You can see having a bit of a skirmish over on the far side. Manticore is going to come up, start pressuring the Prophetess. Just kind of chase her around the battlefield a little bit if I can. But yeah, the Hell Cannon is decent at shooting at cavalry here. We'll watch this shot come in. Lands nice, not necessarily center mass of the unit, but does take down quite a few of those unit models there, so pretty good stuff. Same thing over out on the far side. Just going to continue shooting in on those Knights of the Realm. Try to do as much damage as we can. Over here in the back line, I figure we can probably catch these Yeomen in melee, and we do just that here with these Marauders. You can see I'm a little bit on the actual melee attack order, but this big old blob of Yeomen will get in here, get the melee spears out. You would think these guys would have a bonus versus large, considering they've got these little spears that they wield while they're running around, but pretty good stuff there. Meanwhile, Knights of the Realm do catch one of my units of Marauder Horsemen on a good charge here. Nice anti-large bonus and charge bonus will make quick work of them. Meanwhile, infantry fight getting underway here, and you can see the Hell Cannon trying to be defended here by the Summoners of Rage. We're a little bit late on station. You can see these little Snaggletooth Chaos Dawi here are going to take a charge, but be somewhat protected by the Summoners of Rage here. So Summoners get in with their lightning maces and axes and everything. You can see the Dawi cannon crew detached. Should be able to pull them back into a protective position. If we take a look at the mainline engagement here, Men-at-Arms obviously getting beat down pretty hard by the Marauders and everything else. We're also going to drop a Penumbral Pendulum here to cut through some of these peasants. Get some nice kills there. Manticore drops down for some terror as well, so pretty good stuff. My Marauders are not doing too well. The Horsemen mostly been cleaned up, and I'm kind of having to keep these Summoners of Rage in a bit of a defensive position here. You can see the Soul of Damnation crew detached, going to try and be protected. Oh man. GOTREK gets in here just so angry at these treacherous Chaos Dawi. Going to get in here. We're going to surround him with the actual warriors and try and pull away with the cannon crew if we can. We also hit him with a enfeebling foe there to decrease his stats. He should take some hits then from those Chaos Warriors. You can see that lack of armor definitely going to play against him in that situation as he's surrounded by his Chaos Warriors there. The Summoners of Rage just kind of sitting and taking some fire from the Yeomen. Not the best situation in the world, so I'm going to try and get them into a position, again, to keep protecting the Soul of Damnation crew if we can. But they are going to get somewhat caught out here by multiple different units of Knights of the Realm, so that's a little bit tough. But SIGVALD and his buddy pushed off a bunch of the peasants there. To be expected, Chaos Forces are winning the infantry fight pretty decisively just all across the field here. So pretty good stuff. This backline, though, you can see those Summoners of Rage just got a huge nuke alpha strike, you know, just multi-charge from different directions. Granted, we do set up a decent Penumbral Pendulum there to take down a few of those cav, do some nice AoE damage, but still, those Summoners of Rage pretty much been shattered, I think. Yeah, completely shattered, so I'm not going to be getting them back anytime soon, but here comes the Chain Lightning. Going to be wrecking these, yeah, mostly my own units here, so that must be a Chain Lightning from the Prophetess then, rather than from my own units. But that does allow SIGVALD to come in here. You can see SIGVALD and his buddy. Let's not imagine what they do together. But they're actually going to get in here and start to just wreck FELIX completely. I mean, he is surrounded. GOTREK is nearby, also dealing with these Chaos Warriors here. But FELIX is taking an absolute beating here. And it looks like we're also going to get a bombardment. I believe that is from the Prophetess. Should be the Assault of Stone, I believe. Yep. Comes in, does some really good damage to those Chaos Warriors, basically dropping trebuchet rocks from the sky. But again, that clears things out and allows GOTREK and FELIX to get singled out by these two Chaos champions here. So who will come out on top in this epic duel of champions? You can see FELIX taking too much damage here, actually gets routed away, and without the healing, GOTREK is going to be having a tough time. Oh man, the Exalted Hero just gets knocked over by SIGVALD there. SIGVALD regenerating nicely, not taking too many hits from GOTREK, but GOTREK, now that he's surrounded, more or less, he's going to be taking hits from both sides here. So yeah, GOTREK not in the best situation, and these two Chaos heroes here, champions of the Dark Powers, are going to be able to pretty much finish him off here. So yeah, FELIX routing away, GOTREK getting hit. There are still plenty of Bretonnian cavalry, though. You can see them charging in, getting it on these Chaos Warriors here. The Chaos Warriors with their armor and melee defense should be able to hold out, and I do still have this Soul of Damnation crew alive as well. A handful of Marauder Horsemen kind of running around across the field, so we're definitely not out of this yet. Pretty close battle, and it's still anyone's game at this point, but SIGVALD and this champion certainly are going to be tough to take down for Bretonnia. Now that GOTREK's down, you know, with FELIX being mostly out of the picture as well, it is not looking pretty for the forces of Bretonnia. Knights maybe will be able to come in here and save the day, though. They get some good charges on those Chaos Warriors. Chaos Warriors obviously cut through a bunch of peasants earlier, but just continuing to weather those charges back and forth. So FELIX back from rout at this point. It looks like we might be able to actually go re-secure that Hell Cannon crew. The Manticore is also in a little bit of a rough position here, potentially going to get multi-fired by multiple units of Yeoman Archers here. And if he gets enraged and kind of pulled into a ground engagement, that's going to be pretty bad. But these Knights here continuing to cycle charge. Beautiful charge there into these Chaos Warriors. Lances full out. I'm going to go ahead and quick hit and run as they should. They are all getting quite tired, though. None of these are Grail Knights, so they are going to be suffering from exhaustion, and yeah, they're going to be quite a bit slower as a result. But you can see here the Manticore. Where did he go? Not exactly sure. Somewhere around here. There he is. I'm going to bring him in and maybe try and snipe out the Prophetess here. Maybe try and drop down, get on those Knights of the Realm. But there you can see a few volleys come in. Is it enough to actually enrage the Feral Manticore? Not yet, at least. This unit of warriors kind of holding out against a mass charge here of some various units, but things are looking pretty close. There, the Manticore gets enraged. Balance power is slightly in my favor, but because this area of the battlefield is pretty much completely secure, I am going to be able to get back on that Hell Cannon there. So, Manticore drops down just in a complete rage. Going to be surrounded by anti-large Knights of the Realm, and that will pretty much be the end of the Manticore. So I'm not going to have any terror left on the field, and that will be a very rough situation. You can see the warriors rushing in here. We've got the Sorcerer as well. The two foot champions, of course, for the Warriors of Chaos here on the Cliff of Beasts as well. And you can see the here come the Snaggletooths. We've got, what, 5, 6 of them left? Yeah, looks like 6 Snaggletooth Dawi here ready to go. One of them's even got, a couple of them got their masks lifted up. They're going to get in here and reman the cannon. Meanwhile, the Chaos Infantry just trying to stay close, honestly, as much as possible and not get singled out. Like you see that unit there, that unit of Chaos Warriors got singled out and taken down. Still got some Marauder Horsemen online as well. That Manticore just shattered, though, so a little bit unfortunate, but cannon's back online and we can start shooting. Finally, get some value out of this thing. Generated some value early on in the battle, but it's definitely required a lot of micro to keep that cannon crew alive through all of this. But that was an excellent shot right in the center of those Knights of the Lion-Hearted. So, yeah. You can see the Warriors just desperately trying to defend their artillery piece here. And will it continue to get some value? Oh! Yeah, I guess the Dark Powers weren't too happy with that Chaos Warrior in particular. But the charge of the Knights coming in here, just continuing. Even the Mounted Yeomen getting involved in melee at this point as they are completely out of ammo. You can see here the Marauders and the Chaos Warriors just surrounding the Hell Cannon crew and not allowing them to get disrupted too much. The Hell Cannon crew are going to get knocked off one more time, but we'll keep on it as much as we can. Keep firing as many shots as we can into this late game here. But the Knights cycle charging are going to have a hard time. The Exalted Hero and SIGVALD in particular are going to be quite tanky in this late game here. So we'll see. It's like one more shot potentially here. It's actually targeting those Yeomen. Yep, there we go. Just change to the Knights of Lion-Hearted. They are the most valuable target at this point that I could be shooting at. just because they have the most unit models here, but a rallied unit of Chaos Warriors not going to be too happy. Here comes a shot. Let's see where it lands. Pretty decent. Got maybe one or two of those knights there. A beautiful wind blast, though, just going to wreck through some of those marauders. Unfortunately, was not overcast, as magic is quite low at this point, but those successive Hell Cannon shots are going to continue to generate value in this late game, and you can see the balance of power slowly more and more grinding in my favor. The Knights trying desperately to do what they can, but it's a lot, especially with SIGVALD getting in and getting these big splash attacks along with the Exalted Hero. Knights Lion-Hearted get a really nice charge and should be able to finally silence the Hell Cannon crew for good this time, but they have managed to rack up some kills. 35 probably haven't paid for themselves at the end of the day, but I mean, my opponent had to expend so many resources just to try to get to the Hell Cannon. That in and of itself may not have been worth it at the end of the day, but yeah, those Knights of the Realm Shatter, you can see FELIX coming back at this point. So we'll fast forward a little bit as we move towards the final showdown here. FELIX gets in and actually gets some pretty good work done against these various units here. You can see the Knights also charge in, and we're going to throw one more Penumbral Pendulum down, just to cut through a few remaining Knights here, and Yeomen and so on. Probably did quite a bit of friendly fire as well, but you know, that's just how it goes. Here's FELIX making his final stand. A few more arrows from the Yeoman and a nice charge, but Mr. Crabarm here, Sorcerer, gonna get in, and yeah, FELIX took an arrow straight to the head, not very comfortable, and he gets routed, so that should pretty much be it. We'll fast forward through the last there, as SIGVALD and his buddies just clean up the last few. The Hell Cannon actually is able to get back online one more time, but before it gets a shot off, FELIX actually shuts us down there, and yeah, very well played my opponent. Nice back and forth battle, super close into the late game here, but just these two foot heroes ended up being too much for my opponent. Didn't have the resources to take him down, and often you find yourself in that situation when facing GOTREK and FELIX, right? But the right combination of foot characters can actually beat GOTREK and FELIX at their own game, and then the Bretonnians won't have the answers to take them down in the late game. So how about that? 105 kills for SIGVALD. 85 for the Shadow Sorcerer, and 52 for SIGVALD's friend. Whole bunch of kills for the Marauders, as you would expect up against just peasant mobs and stuff. The Warriors did kind of get stepped on a little bit, but they were weathering the cycle charges of those Knights of the Realm quite nicely. They all started with 1 XP Chevron, and one of them was able to gain 1 more. Through the course of the battle, Summoners of Rage kind of got taken out there, but they did generate some value early on before then. Feral Manticore, of course, dropping those terror routes all around, very key. For my opponent, definitely like to pick up GOTREK at FELIX here. A nice wide build with Lord of Heavens, pretty decent stuff. These Knights of the Realm, you know, with the armor sundering especially of the Curse of the Midnight Wind and other support, can trade quite well in this matchup. Of course, Rapunzel will make them trade even better with her +9/+9 AoE, but that's for another day. As for the rest here, yeah, 102 on these Knights Lion-Hearted, 91 here. Very good kills for Knights of the Realm against Chaos. I like to pick at the mounted Yeoman Archers as well. They can kind of provide some mobile harass. And really, the light targets that you're going to be shooting at for Warriors of Chaos are like, you know, like Marauder Horsemen, for example, who you need to have the mobility to be able to catch and get away from, potentially. So I like to pick up mounted Yeoman there. Maybe a little bit wide on Peasants. I might have gone a little bit lighter on Peasants and maybe upgraded so a couple of these Knights of the Realm to, like, maybe cut a couple of these men-at-arms, 3 or 4 of them down to mobs, and use the remaining funds to upgrade like 2 of these Knights of the Realm to Questing Knights. I think this build is pretty solid overall, but very fun stuff. Hopefully you guys enjoyed watching. If you do like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button so every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.